Hello everyone, I am glad to introduce you to my latest project, which is creation of a conversational chatbot. This year 2025 has started with a lot of buzz around agentic AI. There has been a lot of development in this field with several research and methodologies, libraries, frameworks coming up. Some popular libraries are LangGraph, Crew AI, FeeData and others, each having its own strength and utility. This project I have utilized LangGraph, which is a library which can be used to create LLM assisted workflows. This LangGraph allows us in maintaining the state control over the flow of the application. It also allows us ability to integrate with different external databases, allowing me the quality of persistence. In this project I have integrated Postgres as the external database, and which I utilize not only to provide better context to the LLM, which obviously helps me generate better responses, but also I have integrated a functionality of storing user feedbacks via which is collected via the UI created by Streamlit, and that can be used to optimize the responses or better the responses of the model by some technique like reinforcement learning, which has been utilized in something like DeepSeek. This isn't done in this project, but yeah, someday as a version 2 of this project this can be done. Also, I've utilized Fast API where I've wrapped the backend code in or converted the backend code into an API, which obviously the UI hits in order to generate the response. It can be useful when some, like suppose this application is deployed somewhere on a AWS server, uh, where it can help me scale this application in a better way. Now let's see the UI. So as I stated, I have utilized Streamlit library in creating the UI. So I have utilized Postgres and as a backend database, right? So there are couple of key databases that are maintained, which is basically one is a login credentials database, another obviously the chat summary or detailed database. So first there is a login pop-up where user enters the email ID and password, and if it's already existing user, they can click login. If it's a user, it's create account, and yeah, if the when as and when the login is successful, then the user gets to the second step, which is creation, which is the AI chatbot landing page. So in this landing page there are three main key things which I would like to uh, draw everyone's attention. One is obviously the simple chat input where you can input your punch in your query and get the response. Second is uh, the feedback which I specified. So like you can see there's a thumbs up and thumbs down button. User can click on that, and once they click, they can the user feedback is stored in the backend database, which can be utilized in multiple ways. Another is obviously a very important feature which is possible due to the login part is show previous communication. Once you click it, it will show you the previous 5 days top communications that has been done on this via this product. This kind of gives a more of a customization and a more sense of customized user feeling, right? User experience, I would say. Now let's see a high level workflow of this application. So uh, so on the left side you can see this is where the user is, the UI that's created by Streamlit. So there are two basically, you can say, layers to the UI. One is the login part, and second is obviously the main landing page of the chatbot. So once you start on the login page, you enter your credentials. It goes to the backend, which is wrapped in the Fast API. It goes into the database that maintains the login credentials. If you click login, it will check if the credentials exist. If they do, you are successfully logged in. If you create account and the logins and the credentials that you have entered don't exist previously, it will store them and take you to the next step, which is the landing page of the chatbot. There you can, when you have to enter your user query. Then once you enter your user query, it hits the API, and the API basically runs a workflow engine that's powered by LangGraph, generates the output and stores it in the Postgres database, and it's also visible on the UI as a response. then the user can give the thumbs up or thumbs down, basically a positive or a negative response, which gets stored in the database again, right? And obviously we said it can be used as an ambitious plan to better the chatbot's responses. uh, Now I would deep diver in the next slide in this section, which is the workflow engine powered by LangGraph. So this is basically the LLM assisted workflow that has been created in LangGraph. We create basically graphs which uh, how the application would flow, right? So the square boxes you see are called the nodes, and the lines that you see are called the edges. The dotted lines are the conditional edges. The solid lines are the uh, simple decision that have to be occur. So when you see conditional edges, basically these are some condition that are either run by some if else or some decision that's taken by LLM, right? So once you start enter your query, user query has been entered, you click enter, it goes into the backend API that is obviously hits this engine. So then the LLM will decide whether it needs more context to answer the question correctly, and it can answer it via its own training data. So suppose it's a something standard definition or something, it can answer it without any extra more context. So it goes to the right side, chatbot with no context generates a response, goes to the next step, which is history conversation, where we will come again in in another minute. If suppose the LLM feels no, I need external help, I need some more context, it goes to the web search, which is like a external tool integration, obviously a very popular tool, Tavily search tool, a web search kind of Google search, where it will search the web, generate the response, and provide the context to the LLM. Then again it will utilize the context, its own understanding, summarize the response, and prepare the response and share and send it to the next step, which is, now you can see it's a solid line, so it has to occur wherever it is. Like if it's on the left side, it will go to history conversation. If it's on the right side, it goes to the history conversation anyways. It has to go to this step, which stores the response, creates a summary of the history, and plus it also checks then if uh, the in JSON that is there, right, that's hitting the API has four greater than four previous responses, it will delete the messages and create a summary and keep the latest summary only. Otherwise it will go to end. So this is again a conditional edge basically, and it's helpful for token because we have a token limit as the input. So it helps us to maintain this, will help us to maintain that token limit, right? So this is it around high level summary. Now we can deep dive into the application. So this is basically, you can see, so this is the two sections, unit 8, which is UI, which is basically the stream, which is something which is the Streamlit section, uh, and the app underscore unit 8, which is basically the backend part, where you can see here several functions have been defined, which I mentioned, and then I have defined this graph, which is the state graph, then added the nodes and the edges, and post that I've utilized some other functions for integration with Postgres, and then this is the integration with fast API, this part, right? Then we go to the UI. So then again there are some other functions, and yeah, so this is where once you have logged in, if you have logged in and then you go here, you get your email as a session ID, and then you hit this API which you wrote earlier, you can see, which is the endpoint is chat with AI, right? So it is chat with AI underscore, right? You get this. I'm running this on the back end, so you can see this chat with UI. So yeah, then you can obviously, then it's a Streamlit part. So this is basically how it will look like when you run the application. You get a login page, and there you can have your thumbs up, thumbs down. You can show previous communication. Obviously nothing will be found because there has been nothing in past 5 days. It doesn't show the today's conversation, like it shows in the past day, like before today, the top 5 conversations in the previous 5 days. Then obviously, like I entered an example, like what is the asset definition with example. So it went to the right side like chat with no context, and it gave me an example like asset is a resource or item that has a value owned by the individual or organization. Tangible, it can be tangible or intangible. It gave an example as well. I gave a feedback which is positive. It was nice. Suppose I enter a question like what's the score of India versus England second ODI today. So it is somewhere I would like it to go to the web search, get the latest information. So it said that okay, the latest score is 28 for 0 after 4 overs, and the run rate is this Bendakit. It is looking good since English player. Then it also provides the reference links that it utilized. And yeah, suppose yeah I gave it I like for demo I gave it a negative response. So yeah, it will go into the negative. Maybe I would like some more detailed response here. I might have liked some more information, who is betting, who is betting apart from Mendakit as well. So yeah, and then like you can give negative and positive, yeah, whatever, like I can change it to positive as well. So now it's positive, yeah. So this is how the entire application is, and hope you liked it. Please drop in your feedback in the comments. Thank you.